Now we are going to discuss about macro programs. Remember, macro programs are the most useful function of macro. Reason being, in most of the cases we use macro programs, and in less number of cases we use macro variables. Reason being, all kind of automations, all kind of you can say customizations happen through macro programs.
So what is the macro variables are ampersand and the macro programs are percent?
No. Macro variables and macro programs. Okay. Macro variables are assigned by percent and resolved by ampersand. Fine. So there are only two concepts that we need to know in case of macro variable. But in case of macro programs, another feature comes in picture, and that is the complete program. The way we write data step or proc step, similar way we write macro programs. So there is no concept of variable resolution. It's the entire program gets resolved. Let's see how this happens.
Okay.
So when we start writing macro program, we start with percent macro and end with percent mend. Okay. So these are the keywords. So always start with percent macro. Then after we write the macro name. The way we used to write the macro variable name, we write here macro name. Okay. Then after we write other conditions, other parameters, and end with percent mend and the same macro name and semicolon. So remember, the percent mend is the step boundary in case of macro programs.
So it starts with the percent macro and ends with the percent mend.
Correct. So it always starts with percent macro and end with the percent mend. After percent macro, we write the macro name, but it is not compulsory to write macro name after mend. If we write, that is well and good, we can skip that as well. But this is not compulsory. But in first line, it is compulsory to write macro name. Otherwise, your macro does not execute.
Okay.
Like here, one macro program is written. Name of the macro program is PRT last. That is print last. You can choose any name of the for macro program. The usually the guideline is the same as the variable name, wherein we usually avoid to start with any special character or any number. So remember, we usually start macro program name with some character. Okay. So here my macro program name is PRT last. After that, I write a proc step like proc print data is equal to sys last ampersand sys last. So what this ampersand sys last will do? It will automatically take the last data set which was created in my current session. Fine. Sys last.
What is that mac? Sorry.
What is this?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. You finish first.
Yeah, I'm saying that sys last is an automatic macro variable which resolves the last data set which was created in the current session. Fine. After that, it's a these three statements are basically your base hash statement. Then after we write the percent mend and close the macro. Okay. Now let me create some.
What is that? What is that compile note?
We discussed, I think, mcompile note is what? It's an option. It means macro compile note. So wherever a macro get compiled, wherever macro triggers, it gives information that macro runs successfully or there is some problem. So it's basically a debugging technique. You see, this kind of information we get in the log window. It says that the macro PRT last completed compilation without error. Fine. So it gives us certain message into log window.
Okay, so even if we don't put that, it's gonna run, no?
It's going to run, yes.
Okay.
These are options. Option does not have any control on the statements. Fine.
Okay. Why is there percent PRT last? That's
Yes.
already
Yes.
that's the macro name. Why we put PRT?
Yes, coming on that. That is the main part of the macro program. I'm explaining it. So what I did, I just created a data set called ABC in work library. Fine. Now I'm going to run this macro. I'm not at this moment I'm not using options. Okay, these options I'm not using. Even this option is also not using. Fine. So this macro I run and get information in this macro I run. The moment I run this macro, see one catalog is activated here into work library. Fine. And this is where the entire macro program gets stored. This is called SAS macro catalog. If you go inside, it is similar to the format catalog, wherein information of PRT last is given. That is name of the macro, but you cannot go inside. Fine.
Why not?
Yeah, we cannot go inside. Like format. When we create the user defined format, you cannot go inside by double clicking. Now this macro is created. Now I want to use this macro. Fine. So the name of macro is PRT last. I simply need to write %PRT last without semicolon. When I run this, I will get output. And this is a similar output which proc print data is equal to ABC, OBS is equal to 5, title is equal to something run. So whatever output this gives me, I get that similar output by simply using this macro program. So every time I need not to write this 3-line program. I simply run this. I will get the output. Clear?
So the PRT last is the last data set what we created.
Right.
And once we run that person macro PRT last to person mend, and we have to run once that, no? One time we have to run the whole thing?
This macro program we have to run one time. Okay. After that, you can resolve this macro n number of times.
Okay.
Because the objective of this I just run to create a data set because I just started a session, so there was no data set in my library. So in that case, system was not able to take any this sys last data set because there was no any data set created. That's the reason I created that. Okay.
Or you can put ABC there, no?
Where?
After data.
Here.
Yeah.
So see, if I put after data ABC, so in that case, my macro will not be as effective as it seems here. Reason being, my objective was to take the last data set, whatever I created. So last data set could be anything. Now, this time what I am doing, I am creating data X, Y, Z.
How can you make the library, like I saw too many libraries there, how do you make that permanent there?
Yeah, we'll let you know. So now this time what I did, I created another data set called XYZ. Okay, by help of chars, there is a variable. So this is x. Oh, so sorry, there is no observation in this. That is empty. The dataset is itself empty. Let me take another one. I'm taking clinic. Is there any wrong? Data XYZ sit. Oh,
I think it learned that.
yeah. Oh, this was open. So until I not close it, this will not. Do you know the problem? Because we work on R. I work on R. So in case of R, we need not to specify library name. Once this is declared, so the habit get. Why it's so?
Something wrong. Go on the dataset library.
Spelling data XYZ. Spelling is.
It should be good, but
Yeah, there is no any problem. Learn.clinic. Unable to open the work. This. Oh, it cannot be opened. Do you want to?
is there data on that clinic?
I think there is data.
Let's check that.
No,
No.
there is no data. So now let me check that where is data. Data is with demo. So now select me demo. Now there is data. Fine. So my two data sets which I selected, those were empty. I thought one is empty, second have data, because I used this clinic data yesterday in some of the program. I don't know how this data was deleted. So now here we created XYZ. Fine. Now we are going to refer this. So if I run this, so this time I will get information about the clinic data, not the data which was last time used. So remember, reason being I am using function here called syslast. Okay. So syslast always takes the last data set. So in case I replace it with ABCD so in that case it will always take the ABCD or XYZ data set, not the last data set.
Okay.